Welcome to Car Talk. This is not talking about cars, this is talking inside of a car. Today's topic is about Bitcoin. You may have heard of that. It's what they call a cryptocurrency, a decentralized, non-government backed currency that is value based on supply and demand. That's the gist of it. It's not exactly real dollars, but you can exchange your dollars through different exchanges for that. And based on supply and demand, the value can go up and down. I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. I got right now about 4,000 connections. Not a lot by many, a lot by others. And I see posts all the time on there about invest in Bitcoin, get it going. It's going sky high. It's going to go a lot higher. Maybe that's true. I cannot predict the future. Maybe Bitcoin is going to go super, super high, and maybe investors are going to make mountains of money, and some already have. Is it ever going to go mainstream? I'd be very surprised. And I make these ideas based on something which doesn't exist anymore called Liberty Reserve. That was another cryptocurrency, decentralized. Well, that was more centralized, but it was permanent, non-refundable money that was not backed by government, similar to Bitcoin. And that was just chugging away, doing its thing. And I had some stuff in that, buying and selling stuff. And then all of a sudden, one day, the government seized the whole thing and it all went away. Anybody that had money there just up and evaporated. And that was a lesson for me in this area. There's lots of legitimate uses for that, and there's lots of legitimate uses for Bitcoin. The problem is that the government has a history of doing everything in their power, which is substantial, doing everything in their power to get involved in things that can be used by people like drug dealers and drug traffickers and things like that. So, being that it's a cryptocurrency, non-centralized, make no mistake, Bitcoin is being used for many wildly illegal and immoral and horrible things. And maybe it's only 1%, maybe 10%, maybe 20%. I don't know how to measure that. But make no mistake, it is being used for these horrible things that the government will try very, very hard to stop. And because of that, they have a habit of throwing out the baby with the bathwater, so to say. Because it can be used by some people for horrible, horrible things, they might really go after it. And 9 out of 10 people that use it for something legitimate get caught in the crossfire. And that's what exactly happened with Liberty Reserve. A lot of people used it for many legitimate reasons, but because some people use it for bad things like drug dealers, human traffickers, etc., is an easy way to transport money across country lines. That's the appeal of these. Because it gets used for that, eventually the government's going to come after it, and eventually they're going to want to get their if they let it be, and you're going to say, yes, it's decentralized. How can they come across it? I don't know. The FBI, the CIA, the U.S. government, governments around the world, they can do a lot of things. So would I be surprised if it goes away? No. When? I don't know. The bigger it gets, the more likely it's going to be for a target. So, but if the governments let it be, I'm sure they're going to want their cut of profits for tax things, because government always wants their cut of taxes. So if you're going to invest in Bitcoin, who am I to stop you? I can't predict the future. But what I can do is learn from the past. I lost some money when Liberty Reserve overnight evaporated, and the same thing might eventually happen to Bitcoin, might not. It's harder to do, decentralized, but at the same time, the government is pretty powerful, and they don't like people using things because they say you got to send $10,000 from here to Afghanistan. That's something that's hard to do through traditional banking channels, but it's easy to do through Bitcoin. And if you were the kind of person that wanted to do that, that would probably get a red flag that of our attention you might not want. So if you're going to invest in Bitcoin, be careful. Maybe you can make some money. Maybe lots are going to make lots of money. Maybe it's going to take over and become the biggest currency in the world. I'm not so sure. History has said otherwise. So be careful, be smart. If you're gonna do it, hedge a little bit. If you go all in, there's a massive risk-reward relationship there. You might go all in, you might make 100 times on your money, you might lose everything. So be careful, be smart, and my advice would be to hedge. If you're gonna go in, hedge. But my bigger advice is, it's gonna blow over at some point. Maybe a year, maybe 2, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years. But I'd hate to have wake up one day and the whole Bitcoin system evaporates overnight. This is Car Talk with Tyler Douthit.